So for the past couple of days, there's been a game that has been recently announced, which at first glance seems to be every pirate fan's wet dream. But what's the name of the game, you might ask? Skull and Bones, made by none other than Ubisoft. Knowing this, you would expect people would be excited about it, right? This is the same company that made Black Flag, and a lot of people really love that game. They go as far as to say that it is possibly the best pirate game ever made. Except if you simply have eyes and take a look at what everyone is saying about this game, it seems that, yeah, it's not really perceived well. But, you know, one has to ask himself why people are reacting this way. I mean, is the game actually that bad, or is it all just an over-exaggeration? Lucky for you, I intend to actually answer that question by playing the game for myself and seeing if it's actually living up to the hype, or I guess the hate. First things first, so you actually start the game in the middle of a battle, and then you lose, and you get washed up into a cutscene. And one thing I noticed actually was right off the bat, the audio for the cutscene is actually kind of weird. Like, I'm pretty sure I had my volume at 100%, like just the default, right? And I could barely hear the voice actors talking.
We retreat from the wreck. More than ink and parchment, our fates are revealed.
So after completing some small quests, you begin the next stage of your journey, the Pirate Haven of St. Anne. But now that we've made it here, what is there exactly to do? That is actually a very simple answer. Somebody gives you a quest. You accept it. You go and complete it. You go back to the person that gave you that quest and you give them whatever they asked for, and then you accept another quest. And that's it. I mean, like, there's other stuff you can do along the way, such as raiding fortresses by just clicking your mouse and shooting at stuff until the health goes to 0. And that's it. You can gather resources, although the mechanics of doing so feel like a mobile game.
Give it everything you've got! Keep harvesting!
And as you sail, you can hear the crew singing.
Find yourself a wanton quarter bottom up.
Is that auto-tune? Except you're not actually sailing the boat. You're just pressing a couple buttons and letting your AI crew do the sailing for you. I forgot to mention, a lot of this game is actually not played as a pirate, but as a ship. You don't actually have the freedom to get off anywhere, any place that you want. A lot of the islands that you traverse are actually not really accessible. I mean, there's like certain spots on the map that you can dock at and you can walk around, but I guess as a comparison, it's not like Sea of Thieves where you can stop anywhere and explore pretty much any inch of the island, which I guess I wouldn't really mind if sailing was actually good, which for a game that is very heavily dependent on staying on a ship, you would expect that wouldn't be the case. Even the combat is bad, which I guess leads me to the PvP, which actually is for the most part non-existent. You literally can't attack other player ships. Why can't you sink other people? Which is weird because Skull and Bones is an online open world game. Now, I don't know if maybe they just turned it off for the open beta, or maybe there's designated servers for PvP, or maybe like a different game mode, I don't know. But so far, I have yet to see anything regarding the addition of PvP, which I think is a mistake, especially because it takes away the point of making it an online world. Because what's the whole point of playing with other people? Even if it's not like attacking them, just simply interacting with other players, like there's not much of that. And they somehow made boarding boring. Like, they just reduced it to a cutscene. But I think the worst thing of all, there's no hand-to-hand combat at all. I mean, overall, it's just weird. Actually, wait, scratch that. Remember how a few seconds ago I just said that hand-to-hand combat not being in this game is the worst part about this game? Yeah, well, I want you to immediately forget that, because this is actually the worst thing about this game. Why? Listen, I'm not gonna pretend that I am a historical genius, but I'm pretty sure 17th century pirates didn't have access to torpedoes. Even if you're someone that likes this game, genuinely give me one good reason why this even is a good idea. What's worse is that something like this could have actually worked if the game was striving for a steampunk vibe, but this game is not going for that. It's like if you had Sea of Thieves replace their boats with Teslas. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Overall, it just feels out of place and random and dumb. I've only played this game for like a couple of hours just to record this video, and honestly, after the first couple of hours of doing stuff for the first time, like missions and resource gathering and more missions, it all kind of gets really repetitive and boring. So after covering all that, you would think it couldn't get any worse. You would be completely wrong there, Sonny. Ubisoft CEO defends Skull and Bones' $70 price tag, saying it's a quadruple A game. That is quite the bold statement there. Skull and Bones costs $70 or your local equivalent. But Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot, I'll just call him Guillemot, defended the cost in an investor's call today, saying the high price is warranted because it's a quadruple A game. You will see that Skull and Bones is a full-fledged game, and we feel that people will really see how vast and complete that game is. Honestly, I I don't even know what to tell you. I'll give him that. I will say the game is very big in the sense that the actual map is huge, even though a lot of it is water and sailing is boring and you can't actually jump off at every island. But whatever, okay? The point is, the game is big, alright? But even then, I think it's not even worth near that price tag, because essentially what you have is a game that is as wide as an ocean, but as deep as a puddle. If you think that sailing around as a boat, fighting AI crews, not even being able to hop off any island that you want to, and having torpedoes and missiles as a strategy or sea combat is good enough for you, then by all means, go ahead. Spend $70 on this game. But if you're like me and you prefer to actually be a pirate, then honestly, I don't think this game's for you. But Pidgeys, you might be thinking, if you like this game, all I hear you do is complain, complain, complain. What would you do to fix this game? Number one, the combat, right? Combat sucks. Let us be able to fight other players. Number two, the explorability. Make us hop off anywhere we want to. The resource gathering, completely get rid of it. Let us not have our pirate just attached to the wheel the whole time. Let us be able to walk around the ship, interact with our crew, maybe some dice games, being able to actually access other parts of your ship. That's my idea of what an ideal Skull and Bones would look like. Let me know what you all think in the comments down below. But as of now, this game is not worth $70 at all. Probably like 15 bucks at best. If you want to see me review another pirate game, make sure you click on this video right here. And as always, save the pigeons.